Howdy Shop Warrior. Today we have the 2-lamp LED light from Lithonia Lighting. We're going to unbox this thing, show you all the accessories, talk through all the specs on it. Then we're going to mount it to my lighting rig so we can see how it compares to a fluorescent light. Then we'll talk about the good and the bad aspects of this light, my final recommendation. Let's get into it. Take a look at everything that comes in the box, which is pretty much just the light and this manual. So the manual has a little bit of instructions on what's inside and the wiring, how to mount it, and then step-by-step guide on wiring. So this is pretty easy to mount. There are 2 screws on it. I'll show you the mounting holes in just a second. Let's take a look at the end here. So we've got a knockout. We've got the little tabs here that hold the top LED part on. And then on the back we have more knockouts, and then our holes for mounting. And pretty much the same story on the other end here. Our other mounting hole, knockout, another knockout. Alright, let's open this up and peek inside. Alright, so if you have these little tabs right here, it looks like there are 3 of them. So we squeeze there, we squeeze in the middle, and then we have one last one. Where is it? Here it is. Squeeze that guy. Alright. Now we can open this thing up. Alright, let's take a look inside. So we have our mounting holes. We have some connectors, some caps to join our wires together, a couple of screws, 2 more screws. Then we have all of our wiring. So to hardwire this guy, we connect to just the raw wires there. The rest of that is just what's connecting our regulator to the LEDs. And then we come down here, we have our other mounting hole, knockouts. And that's it. Let's run through the specs on this Lithonia light. I've got them all here on a Google Sheet. Let's run through it. So this is Lithonia Lighting brand, model number MNSL L48 2LL MVOLT 40K 80 CRI. The cost on this was $45. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a 4 foot in length. The bulb type is integrated, which means you can't take the bulb out. There's no bulb that you can replace on it. It's just integrated into the fixture itself. The lumens for this light are 4,500. Color temperature is 4,000 K. The CRI rating is 80. And one thing I wanted to point out was that I have the specs for this light and the 7 other lights that I've done video reviews on, which you can check those out on my channel as well. But I put all that information into a giant spreadsheet. So if you want to see how this light compares to several other, the most popular ones, I got the most popular ones from Home Depot, Lowe's, and Amazon to review against each other. So I've got all that information here in this Google Sheet. You can get access to this if you like at theshopwarrior.com/free. You can access this Google Sheet and some others that I've created. Free downloads, free access to that if you like. All right, getting back to the specs. Lifespan on this is rated at 50,000 hours. It's 50 watts for this light. There are 2 bulbs in here, so a little higher wattage than the others. The mounting type is surface or hanging. This is hardwired. It is linkable. It is not dimmable, and it has a 5-year limited warranty. So one thing to note is that this is Lithonia. So one thing on the company I wanted to mention was that Lithonia Lighting, if you're not aware, is kind of a staple in the construction industry. They've been around since 1946. So they know lights. They've been building them a very long time. All right, that's it for the specs. Okay, so we've got the lights hooked up and turned on here. We've got a 4 foot fluorescent. There's 2 bulbs in there. And then we've got our Lithonia light, and there's 2 bulbs there. Camera almost blends them into one. It can't hardly tell the difference in that Lithonia. So hopefully you can get a sense of the light output and the color difference between these 2. Although this is rated at 4100 K, the fluorescent is, and this is rated at 4000 K. So the colors should be pretty much the same, which even to the naked eye, they do pretty much look very, very, very close. So in terms of light output, these 2 lights together on the fluorescent are rated at 5800 lumens, And the Lithonia with 2 bulbs is rated at 4,500 lumens. So the lumens are close, at least closer compared to most of the single ones, single LED lights. Try to get a little close up here. One thing that I like to do is look at the light that gets cast onto the wall and onto the floor. And it kind of gives you a sense of how much light this thing is putting out, and also the color as well. All right, so let's look at these just one at a time. So when we look at the fluorescent, this is the kind of light that it throws on the wall. All right, now let's look at the Lithonia LED. All right, we'll try to get the camera to focus on the bulbs themselves. Kind of shows you a little bit different view here of the lights. All right, hopefully that gives you a sense of the lighting, the output, and the colors. All right, let's talk about the good and the bad about this Lithonia light. So, on the good side, the first thing you notice is this thing is a tank. It is heavy. The fixture, like the metal part, and the guts of it are heavy. The LED light part is heavy. This thing is built like a tank. And if you've never heard of Lithonia lighting, they have been around since the 40s. They're a staple in the construction industry. So they know how to build lights. This thing has a 5-year warranty and is rated at 50,000 hours. I believe that it would definitely last 50,000 hours based on the weight and the construction quality of this thing. So that definitely plays in its favor. It's backed by a company that has been building lights for a very long time. The other thing I like about this is you buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot, so if you have an issue, you can take it back to the store and they'll take care of you. That is great. I find that far more convenient, at least in my book, compared to Amazon and returning things there. The support information and warranty information is easily accessible on their website. Another thing that plays in their favor. And for this light, you get 4,500 lumens. So that really is the primary reason why you might want this light. Because at $45, it's on the high end. So I would only get this light if you need 4,500 lumens in a small space, versus maybe buying a bunch of smaller ones and linking them all together, spreading out your light. But if you need a lot of light in a concentrated area, this is a really good option for you. So let's talk about the downside. Downside is the price. This is the most expensive light that I've reviewed. I've reviewed 7 other lights. And this is $45 for a single light, making it the most expensive. Now, you do get a tank of a light. It's a high quality light. It's the Cadillac of lights, if you will. And you get a lot of lumens out of this thing at 4,500 lumens. So you're getting a lot of light for your money. But again, I would only do that if you need it concentrated in one area. If you need light spread out, like over a shop or a garage, I would go with something that it doesn't concentrate the light as much. So unless you really need a lot of light in one space, or you just want a lot of light over your garage and money is not an issue for you, this is a good choice. Or maybe if you're just replacing 1 or 2 fixtures, this would also be a really great choice. But if you're wanting to run like 36 linear feet of light like I'm going to do in my garage, then I would pass on this and go with a cheaper option. So otherwise, this is a good light, but a very costly light and has a little more limited use. But again, really depends on your circumstances. So that's the Lithonia light. I've reviewed 7 other lights, including this Lithonia light with a single lens and several other brands, basically the best from Home Depot, Lowe's, and Amazon. So you can really see a side-by-side comparison of all of them. So be sure to check out those videos. And if you want access to that Google Sheet I showed earlier and other Google Sheets that I have, you can get that for free at theshopwarrior.com/free. I hope you found that useful. I hope that gives you good information as you're trying to decide on which light is best for you. All right, have a good one.